Hey everybody! So how long has it been? I'm kind of afraid to check. Unfortunately, I have a habit of just disappearing for months and then coming back with an explanation as to why, and it's always just, you know, life gets in the way of things. But I have been really wanting to come back to YouTube and making videos and talking about makeup and talking about whatever. I've been like afraid to do it though. Like I've been putting it off and putting it off just because the more time that goes on without me putting like no real effort into it, the more guilty I feel, and I've started just associating making videos with the feeling of like guilt and failure. So I'm just like forcing myself to do this today. I want to, I'm just like scared and nervous, but I have no makeup or anything on my skin right now, or I have skincare on, but no makeup, which is abnormal for me. I want to do a get ready with me, and usually I would have like all of my face makeup on and just kind of do an eye focus, but there's just so much to talk about. I'm gonna clip my hair back. I bought a bunch of these like no dent clips to use on my clients, and I bought like a pack of 10 and I only need 2, so I've been using them. They're pretty nice. So let's just like get into it. Like I said, I already have my skincare on, so I'm gonna just be doing my makeup. I probably won't talk about like everything I'm doing in terms of products and things like that unless I have like anything very important to say, which like for eyes, I'm gonna start with eyes. I got a bunch of these Glisten liners in. Glisten Cosmetics had a sale on their website the other day, so I ordered pretty much all of the split liners aside from the ones I already had, and I got their iridescent bundle. Camera will not pick it up, but 5 different shades of like duochrome, multi-chrome liners, so I'm gonna use a couple of those today. So anyway, let's just like get into it. Let's spill all the tea. Where have I been? What have I been doing? Am I okay? Honestly, don't know the answer to that one, but I did post a video like a couple months ago now, and I dropped it out of nowhere because again I hadn't posted in like a few months before that. So that video, it was I think an Ulta Gratis haul. I think that was the last video I did. It had been fully edited for like weeks. I just didn't have it in me to upload it for so long, and I don't know, and it's been continuing since then that I just don't really have it in me to like do all of this. Hopefully that has changed now. I go through these cycles all the time. Part of it, like I said, are those like feelings of guilt. Like I was so consistent over the last year, posting at least twice a week every single week, and then I missed a couple, and then I just felt so guilty, and then I like couldn't face those feelings, and I like didn't know what to say about it, and like really no one cares. Nobody cares about my upload schedule or when I upload or how often, except for me. So I don't even know why I like feel that way. I think I felt like maybe a failure. So yeah, I guess we're gonna just talk about like YouTube to start with, huh? I guess that's how we're diving in. I've been doing YouTube for, oh my god, I've had multiple channels over the years. All of them are gone now. But I've had channels since I was like a kid, you know, and I've been making videos forever, and it's something that I genuinely enjoy. It brings me joy, it brings me like happiness and excitement, or it can, and then at times it doesn't, but it's kind of like an outlet for me, a creative outlet for me. That can be a really good thing until you start tying things like goals to it. And it's good to have goals. I am a very like goal-oriented person, and when I want something, like if I genuinely want something, I try my best to get it. And things like social media, I've just come to find out, and I think everyone would agree with me here, it has very little to do with hard work and dedication and consistency. It really just has more to do with luck, and I had a brief moment in time when I had pretty good luck on social media, and then not anymore. So last year I was being very consistent because I had a goal of growing my channel. And I, you know, honestly, any kind of growth would have been great for me, even if it was just a few hundred people, subscribers or whatever, even if my views were just steadily increasing. But that wasn't happening. My views weren't increasing. My subscribers were actually going down because I switched up my content so much from when I was getting that kind of like better luck with social media. I kind of pivoted into a totally different kind of type of content. And so rather than seeing growth, I was seeing like a decline on a regular basis for like a year. And I really put my whole Asha into my YouTube channel last year, and it was just very discouraging to not have any growth and to actually have the opposite. And so it started creating feelings of like anxiety for me. I started feeling like a failure, and so that's obviously not a very nice way to feel. I don't think I really need to like explain that. I think we've all felt that way at times, and it just like really sucks, you know? And so that kind of led to like an avoidance of the whole thing. I wasn't even like reading comments, you know? Like I was completely avoiding YouTube entirely. And then that led to feelings of guilt because I wasn't working on something that I actually like, because I tied a part of my self-worth to it. And that was obviously a mistake. I also had a goal of obviously making some money. Like, I was making AdSense money, but it was like $100 a year. Like, it wasn't anything really. We all know the world we live in right now, okay? Like, we all know how hard it is out there, inflation, everything. And like the pandemic especially, I really just wanted to be doing this and to be making enough to just simply survive. Which I know is like a really hefty goal that most people don't achieve online, and like I understand that, but even if it was just like $100 a month, I would have been fine with that, because at least that would have meant like, you know, maybe one less shift at a hell job, you know? But I didn't even make that goal. I didn't achieve anything. So I really just needed to take a break from YouTube because I needed to want to do this for different reasons. Clearly, I can't really tie my self-worth to this because it really doesn't matter how hard I work. If I don't hit the algorithm right, I'm not gonna grow. I'm not gonna do anything here. I need to be able to just be okay with that and to just do this because I like it. Because I like doing my makeup and talking about it. That is kind of where I'm at now. I've been like actually feeling a little bit more excited about it there. I mean, I'm still a little bit nervous because it has been so long. But that's like a normal feeling, you know? It's not like a dread or an anxiety or guilt anymore. It's just like, ooh, I haven't done this in a while. How do I do this again? I just needed to get to the point where I was having fun and enjoying this, and it would be nice to see growth. Like, I am also a human being, and human beings like really thrive off of positive feedback. That's just normal for us, but you know, as long as I'm having fun with it, who really cares? So that kind of leads into like, what have I been doing lately, like as a creative outlet or as like something to work toward? Because I've fully accepted that social media is like the likelihood, like the chances of actually being able to earn even like a part-time living on social media is just so low that it just really has to be a hobby for me. But what I have started doing is learning like crafts and learning skills, and specifically it started with candle making. So that can easily be something that, you know, I can do like farmers markets and pop-ups and sell candles, and even if I make $200 a month or even like $100, you know, it doesn't have to be crazy. But that's actually something that like hard work can lead to something, because all I need to do is just like set up a booth you know? I would be like one booth selling candles and there might be like 2 or 3 others, but it like at art fairs and things like that where there will guaranteed be people who see my work, compared to social media where like I am posting in a sea of a million other people doing the exact same thing. It's also a really nice creative outlet because I've been designing my own labels. I've been coming up with names. I know like there's nothing wrong with this, but a lot of like candle makers will name their candles after what the scent, like the fragrance is called. So like one of my favorites is from Candle Science, Mango and Coconut Milk, and I've seen a dozen candles named Mango and Coconut Milk. But for me, I would mix that with something else, create a blend, and then name it something that it makes me think of, you know? That's what I like about it. So I've been doing that. I've started making wax melts and room sprays. I got these aroma beads that are kind of like air fresheners, or like you could put them in like a sock drawer or whatever. So I've been just like making things, and I love making things, but making candles is like, oh my god, so much more complicated than I would have ever thought that it would be. I started this kind of journey in January, and it wasn't like intentional, like it wasn't like a New Year's resolution or anything. It was totally coincidental. I was working at Ulta at the time, which was highly traumatic for me, and I was having a really rough time around that time. I just had this idea, like I want to try a new craft, basically. Like I need to put my creative energy towards something, because at that time YouTube was still kind of like a negative thing in my mind. And so I started making candles, and I was thinking that I would just launch in the spring, like April. And then like March came around and I was still testing and I was not ready to launch. And I was like, I'll just launch for summer. I'll launch around my birthday. That was a month ago, came and went, and I finally nailed a candle formula. It took 6 months. I don't even know what to say. Like I tried multiple different kinds of wax, multiple different wicks, and it really is like a trial and error kind of thing. But I really was not expecting it to take so long, but I love it. I love the process of learning it, and I love the trial and error, and it does kind of feel like a waste of money at times because the supplies are just so expensive. So when I would make a candle that wouldn't work out because of, you know, the wax was sucking, or the wick wasn't the right size or whatever, you know, it did kind of feel like, damn, I just wasted like $10. But it wasn't a waste because I was learning something. Every failure is a lesson, and that's how I choose to see it, and I'm having a really fun time with it. I nailed a wax melt formula. I'm trying out different room spray formulas, seeing what I like best and things like that, so I'm having a lot of fun. I've also started making other things like out of necessity. So I do makeup artistry. I'm a freelance makeup artist, usually for bridal, but the occasional like photo shoot. And I really wanted a good lip balm for my kit. And I was looking at different options, and like, it just occurred to me that like, why don't I just make my own? Because that was another thing I just wanted to learn how to make. I am obsessed with lip balm personally. I don't go a day without using lip balm, and so if I can just make my own, how nice would that be? So I got all of these supplies. I made my first batch and it wasn't great. It was fine, but it wasn't like what I wanted. So I gave some to my friends. I'm using it up myself. But like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I also fell in love with that process of making lip balms. And so now I want to make lip scrub, and now I want to make body butter and body scrub. And I also already know that I love embroidery. So I want to learn how to crochet and maybe incorporate that into like all my things that I'm making. And then in general, just like learning how to run a small business, which is also endlessly complicated. And I have quite a bit of experience already as a freelance makeup artist with like kit write-offs and travel expenses and things like that for tax purposes, but it's just so much more complicated than even that. And honestly having fun learning that too. I just like all this new stuff I'm learning. I think it is important as a person to learn new things and to put your creative energy into something that brings you joy. I really don't want to put pressure on myself to make a lot of money doing this. Like, I do want to sell candles and I do want to sell wax melts and body butter and all of the things that I just said. I would really like that. But I don't want to put a lot of pressure on myself, and I don't want to assume that it's going to be successful, because it will like emotionally devastate me if I do that and then I'm not successful. I just want to have fun with it, you know, but unfortunately we do live in a world where we do need to like monetize our hobbies, and I wish that was not the case. I wish that, you know, we could just share things with one another, but you know, this world is terrible. So I do have a goal of making money doing this, but even if it's just like a part-time income, I'm totally cool with that. Like, I wouldn't really mind. So like last year I was lucky enough to be on unemployment, pandemic unemployment. It was very nice, and I think everybody should have an experience like that in their lives, because it was like the most emotionally and mentally like fulfilling time in my life. Like I felt good. I felt good every day for the most. I mean, there was anxiety still, like mental illness doesn't go away, but it was the best it's ever been, and the best it probably ever will be. And part of it is because I did have the time to freely pursue my interests and learn things and upload to YouTube and everything, and I had the freedom to be able to do that and know that my rent is going to be paid and my bills are going to be paid, and I can just focus on what like fulfills my soul and makes me happy. And that got like ripped away from me in October of last year, and that's part of why I think I went into such like a slump too. I definitely went through like a grieving process with it all, because I had this life that I loved, and I wasn't even like rolling in money, you know. It was a full-time income, basically. It was what a universal basic income should be. All of my bills were paid, and I didn't have like a ton extra, but I had freedom, you know. I had time to myself to do the things that I love, and that is the most important thing to me. So it really is hard for that to not be a goal. Like, now that I've had it, I want that again. I want to be able to like fully support myself with things that I love. So I have my freelance makeup business that I am so grateful for, because it allows me to only have to work part-time at like another job. And if I can have that part-time income be something else that I love, that is like my goal in life. So it is really, really hard for me to not put pressure on myself to try to make candles and all that into an income. It's really hard for me to like not really fucking want that, but I just have to like keep that in mind of like, it might not work out, and I just need to like protect my mental well-being for if it doesn't work out. And I just need to think of it as a hobby, and that like sucks because my camera overheated, but that's okay because I think I was rambling anyway. I was just saying that I am just trying to avoid those feelings of like anxiety and despair when things don't work out. But I don't even know if that can be avoided. I think that I'm gonna need to maybe deal with that, you know? Anyway, I'm going in with the Cotton Candy Split Liner from Glisten Cosmetics, the lighter shade, and then I'm gonna kind of like blend it into the deeper shade and kind of follow that cut that I made in my crease. So yeah, I was saying that I had to get like an emergency job. Unemployment was cut off. So I did get a job at Ulta inside of a Target, which I have mentioned before. And Like, that experience was actually incredibly traumatizing for me. I've worked in retail my entire life. I've worked in like cosmetics, like retail cosmetics, basically my entire life for the most part. So it wasn't like the job necessarily, but it was the pandemic. The city that I was working in had a mask mandate for a couple of the months that I was there, which I was actually like really happy about at first, but so many people just didn't care and they didn't follow it, and I was told that I was not allowed to tell people to put a mask on, which I obviously fucking ignored because that's so fucking stupid. If there's a mask mandate, I'm gonna tell people about it, and I'm gonna tell them that they need to put a mask on if they're gonna shop near me in the store. They said that it was for my own safety that I could not tell people or even ask people to put a mask on, which is absurd because the mask is for my safety. We all know by now. We all know, even if you try to like deny it, you know that masks are very, very, very important in preventing other people from getting sick. So some masks will filter in the air that you breathe, but all masks will filter the air coming out. Well, not all, not like cloth masks, but you know, a surgical mask. We all should be wearing a mask at all fucking times if we are interacting with other people, especially indoors. Always indoors. And if you're out, like I've been going to art fairs, like outdoor art fairs and stuff this summer, and I always put a mask on if I'm like going into somebody's booth or if I'm like buying something. I put a mask on because it's a sign of respect. It's a courtesy thing, and it's just, I don't want to like unknowingly spread something to anybody, and everybody should be anyway, different tangent. Oh my god. At Target, yeah, I was telling people that they need to wear a mask because there was a mask mandate, and it was the little bit of like control I had over the situation, and then I got in trouble for it. And like by then I knew that I wasn't really gonna stay at the job. Like dude, I don't want to sound like woe is me because I only worked there for like 4 months, and I know that people had to work in situations like that throughout the entire pandemic, and in my opinion, not a single fucking person should have ever have been put in that situation. Nobody should ever have had to work like with the public during a pandemic, aside from obviously like healthcare, like actual essential workers, and they should have been protected at the highest possible level. There were so many things that went wrong. So if you are a person who has had to work with the public for the whole pandemic, or even more than me, I am so sincerely sorry about that, and I'm sure that you would agree with a lot of what I'm saying, but you know, I didn't have to. I was lucky enough that I didn't have to, so being thrown into that position was traumatizing for me. I was so uncomfortable every single day. I saw some of the nastiest fucking things. I saw people picking their nose. People would like, I'd be walking down an aisle and someone would just like openly sneeze into the air in front of me, just sneeze into the air that I was about to walk through. And like just every fucking day, something like that. I watched someone like just coughing all over the nail polish display, just coughing and continuing to shop and just coughing right onto it. Like people just people shit, just stupid ass people shit. And some people, I mean, I saw a lot of masks too. I saw a lot of people that clearly gave a fuck. And like, I so appreciated those people, but I saw some of the fucking grossest shit ever. You know, once I got in trouble for basically telling people they need to wear a mask for my safety, I wasn't allowed to keep myself safe. Fucking stupid. I knew I was like out of there, like no matter what it took, I was out of there. So we were waiting for our gratis for like 3 months. And they finally gave it to us, and I never showed up again. I've never done that before. I've walked out of one job one time, like in the middle of my shift before, because it was, you know, the only thing I could do in that situation. But I've never ghosted a job before. And I think that I made the right choice. I told them that I was exposed to COVID and I used up all my sick time. I had, I think, like 14 hours accumulated, so I told them I needed to use that. And then I just ghosted, never came back. I saw that on my paycheck that they put that through, and then never called them back. I'm gonna do black. I'm gonna do a black wing and then go over it with the duochrome. I haven't done makeup in so long. I'm so rusty right now. So what else has been going on in my life? I am doing a lot of freelancing, which I love. It's wedding season, so I'm staying very busy doing that kind of stuff, and I'm very grateful for it. I think that the timing came like just when it needed to. So I do have another part-time job. I'm managing like a little store, and it's pretty easy work, like my part-time job. It's really not like hard work at all. It obviously has its days, but for the most part it's just, you know, honestly, like, gonna be totally honest here, it's mostly just sitting around, which I'm cool with it, you know? So I'm only working there about like 2 days a week, and then I'm doing makeup for the rest of the week. I still have time to see Tony and my friends. I still have time to work on hobbies and pursue other interests. You know, not as much as I did have, obviously, but I am grateful for the time I have. I still know that I'm in, you know, a pretty good position that not a lot of people are in right now. Oh, something that happened at my part-time job, this happened like a while ago, probably like 2 months ago now, but it was wild. There was a customer that came in like on one, like I don't know what was wrong with her, like fully acting like she had rabies. She didn't have enough money for something that she was, you know, wanting to buy, which, you know, that sucks, but she got like mad at me about it. She threatened to attack me. She told me that she was gonna come back like later when I was getting off work and jump me in the parking lot, and then it's like multiple people got involved, and I haven't seen her back since then. She got like completely banned, which, you know, obviously. But then the same week, like a couple days after that happened, after this like woman was like trying to physically hurt me at work because I don't know why, I went for a walk in my neighborhood. I started noticing that this girl was following me. She came out of nowhere, and then she started yelling at me like while she was following me, and as I was walking up like basically like the little sidewalk to my apartment building, she continued to follow me, like she was trying to follow me inside. So I turned around and I pointed my pepper spray at her, which, like, if you don't carry pepper spray, start now, because honestly, it saved me. It saved my ass. I don't know if it saved my life. I don't really know what these people's intentions completely were. It saved my ass, that's for sure. And so I pointed it at her, and that's what got her to stop. She told me to empty my pockets because she was trying to rob me. And then I was like, no. And then I told her, like, I'm gonna spray you. This guy comes up. Oh, fuck, it transferred on my lid. This guy comes up, obviously working with her. They had some kind of operation going. He's asking her if I'm bothering her. He tried to get me to take my phone out to call the police, because he was like, should I call the police? And I was like, yeah, call them. And he was like, well, I don't have my phone. And I was like, well, I do. And I almost took my phone out, and I was like, wait a minute. That's what he wants. He wants me to take my phone out so he can take it. So then I didn't take my phone out, and eventually another guy was like getting out of his car, and he saw what was going on, and he kind of like chased them away. But that whole situation was like, you know, now I can talk about it. It's been, I guess that was like a couple months ago now, about 2 months ago probably. But oh shit, at the time it was very traumatizing, and still, I guess I'm probably still traumatized from it, because I won't go for a walk outside anymore. I will not do it. which sucks because I love going for walks. Like, going for a little walk is one of my favorite things to do, and can't do it anymore because last time I did it, someone tried to rob me. Fucking sucks. So now I want to learn self-defense and maybe like some kind of martial arts or something. Learn how to fight, I don't know. Because I don't like feeling unsafe. You know, I want to feel like if that situation happened again, I could hold my own. Oh, another thing though, she was holding in her hand, she was holding a needle, like a drug needle, like a syringe needle, threatening me with it. So even if I did know how to fight, I need to know how to like disarm a person, because who knows what was in there. Could have been drugs, but these people were like crackheads, so they probably were not gonna like actually inject me with drugs, but it could have been like a dirty needle, you know? Or it could have been like a tranquilizer kind of thing too, because there was that guy who came out of nowhere. He was probably watching in a car, you know? It could have been a kind of kidnapping thing. Like, I just don't know. That's part of what was so scary about it. Like, I don't know if they were just trying to rob me or if they were trying to do something else. Camera overheated again, so I just threw some lashes on, some concealer, some powder, a little bit of contour, and that's it. So now I think my camera is fine to keep recording, and you know what? I'm almost done talking anyway. I've reached the point where I'm rambling. I'm gonna pop a little bit of the pink and the purple, the lighter, on the lower lash line. I kind of want to do little gems. I just feel like this duochrome. Oh, something else I did while the camera was cooling down, I added it on top of the little cut crease liner. And I don't know. I like it. I just think I want the look to be a little bit more sparkly, so I'm gonna add gems to it. I got this little organizer for all my little gems and I love it. This is not all of them, this is probably a third of them, but these are the ones that didn't really have a home. I'm gonna go with these like these little teeny tiny, I think they're like sugar crystals they call them. They're for nails, I think, but I'm gonna put them on. Like, I think I'm gonna put them under the wing there. But I've been enjoying my summer, you know. I try to find things to do. I've been going to a lot of like outdoor art fairs. That's kind of like what I've been doing this summer. It's what I've been really enjoying. I really like going to gardens. Last year Tony and I had memberships to the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum and they expired. And I've been wanting to kind of reinstate the membership, but I've also found a couple of like free gardens also nearby the cities. There's one in Minneapolis. So I want to check those out before I pay for more memberships. We went to, when I say we, I mean Tony and I, we went to a sculpture park and that was so cool. It's the Franconia Sculpture Park. It was so much fun. So big, it's like huge. Tony and I are doing this thing now where we take turns. We like alternate weekends where one of us plans the weekend, or at least like plans something for us to do. Maybe if it's not the whole weekend, it's like, you know, an activity. I really do like to just kind of sit inside and play video games, you know? Big fan of that activity. But in the summer, I just really like to be out doing something. And it doesn't have to be like crazy, like it really can just be finding some flowers to look at. So if anyone watching is from Minneapolis or Minnesota, and you know of any little secret gems, let me know. I really, really want to go see Split Rock Lighthouse. I went there once as a kid, I'm fairly certain. I remember it being like a big deal that we were going to go look at a lighthouse, and as a kid I didn't care. But now I really want to go look at that lighthouse. Oh, also in Minnesota somewhere, I don't know where. I made a Google Doc with all of these ideas already, but there is called the International Wolf Center, I think. and it's somewhere in Minnesota, and they sometimes have little wolf babies, and I think right now, I think like a month ago, there were some babies. So they're probably a little bigger now, but I still want to go look at some wolves. How fun would that be, you know? And then I found this like zip lining thing, which is not free. It's like $90. It's fairly expensive, but it'd be nice to like do something like that, like on occasion, something that, you know, might not be free, but it would be fun. They also, at this place, I forget what it's called, but they have a ropes course for like $30 or something. So I'd be down to do that too. Go climb on some ropes. That sounds like so much fun. I think that's good enough. I'm gonna pop some mascara on the lower lashes. I've been using the Too Faced Better Than Sex, and I just need to say it, make sure everyone knows that this mascara is garbage. It's like probably one of the worst mascaras I've ever tried. I'll say it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just spoiled. I've been using the Lash Princess, and that mascara is like fantastic, and it's like $6. This one is just so lackluster. It's fine for lower lashes because that's not like that big of a deal, but it really like makes my lashes look so bad. It's just not good. Also, these falsies, I fucking don't know where I got these from. They're so bad. They're like some of the worst. I probably honestly could have done my face first before doing this video because it just took me so long to do my eyes, because it's been months since I've done my eyes. I can link my my like candle situation, like my Instagram and everything that I made for my candle business, in the description if you want to kind of follow along. I'm not ready to sell them yet just because like my first batch of labels that I made aren't very good. They're fine, but they're not like, I don't like them enough. So I'm still in the phase of making candles for like friends and family, getting feedback, things like that. Just kind of tweaking things and perfecting things. I'm taking this process very slowly. Because the first couple ideas of like, I'll launch in the spring and then I'll launch for my birthday, obviously those things did not happen. So I'm just gonna kind of let it happen when it happens, but I'm working on it a little bit every day. Maybe I'll make a video when it's finally time to like officially talk about it, but if you want to follow the Instagram, you for sure can. I got this brow gel from Shein. Just wanted to give it a try, and I hate it. Like, I actually hate it. It's the worst brow gel I've ever used in my entire life, but I'm just using it up until it's done. Okay, and then let's do some blush. Wait, let's do some freckles. One thing that I like from Shein that is like kind of a holy grail, like will repurchase, is their freckle tint. Freck Please. I love it. It's so nice. I've never used the freckle tint, but it's probably, I would assume, a dupe for it. It's kind of liquidy. You just kind of tap them on, and then just with your finger, you kind of tap it out. Freckles, no freckles. It's just so quick and easy, and I feel like they look pretty natural. This MAC blush, Faux Sure. This is from 2016 when I used to work for the brand, but you know what? Powder doesn't really expire. I like to put it on like I have a sunburn. A little highlight. How about a purple highlight? Cute. I like to highlight the bridge of my nose, like between my eyes. I just think it's cute. I don't like to highlight all the way down my nose because I think it looks stupid, but I like it right on the bridge. Everything I have for lips are like peachy or like 90s brown. Maybe just a gloss. This one is old actually. We'll see how it smells. This is from the Raw Beauty Christie like first launch. Like I got the bundle, so this is old as hell. It still smells good, but it smells kind of bad too. I'm gonna put it on. All done. You know, it could be better. I'm not like completely in love with the look, I'll be honest, but I am very rusty right now, and I think that it's fine. And I still need to get used to using these duochrome liners. I got all of them. I bought the bundle. They're all very pretty, but they just act a little different than like the regular split liners. So I just need to play around with those a little more, but I like it so far. Anyway, I'm gonna get cleaned up. I think I talked about everything. I'm gonna try to post more, but I'm not gonna force it. Like, I do have a lot of ideas of videos that I want to make, but I just don't want to pressure myself to do it. Although I do also understand that, like, I know myself, and I know that if I am posting these videos and nobody's watching them, and, you know, I'm not seeing any kind of like growth or whatever, it will get to me for sure, and the only way around that is to be consistent. I don't know. I just don't want to put pressure on myself. I just want to like what I'm doing. So I'm still working on kind of finding a balance, but I feel a lot more positive about making videos right now. So we'll just see where it goes. Can't promise anything, but I am gonna try. Let me know what else you want to see from me. And I just want to say thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!